Well, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back. George Morgan here at your service. It's PSGL, it's Wednesday night, it's Spain tonight as well. Lots on the table, lots of battling. The title contest is still alive and kicking. And Jack, it's only taken us 10 rounds. We're on the 11th. It's all to play for.
Boromant goes on the inside and takes the lead on the final lap of the race. Now it's side by side between Boromant and Warner, but Boromant's got the inside.
Brings me a guest star here in this phenomenal race. Cameron Dowd looking to take P2 in his very first PSGL F1 PC race. Incredible to say the least. You see that Putin to lead. 1.5 seconds. DRS is the name.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to the final round of PSGL PSF1 Season 35. By the end of tonight's stream, we will find out who will be crowned the PSF1 champion. 9 points separating the two drivers of Aurelian and Cameron Dowd. So will it be one of them that writes their names at the history books at the Secure International Circuit for the Bahrain Grand Prix, round number 11 on the championship? And for the very first time, we're not just on YouTube, we are on Twitch as well. So welcome to everybody who is watching on Twitch. Good to have you here. My name is Jess Ball, and joining me for the final time this season, we've got Mr. James Head. James, how are you doing?
I am doing really, really well, Jess. I'm excited but nervous, I think, in the commentary box here tonight. Not only for our title protagonist, but for the action that is about to unfold out on track. As you mentioned, 9 points separating Aurelian and Cameron Dowd coming into tonight. Aurelian, of course, finished 4th last week on track. Penalty for GL made him up into 3rd, so that's why he gets those 2 extra points, and that's why his gap is at 9 points compared to Cameron Dowd. But Aurelian has been in this position before, where he has led a championship. In PSF2, Season 32, he led the championship by 4 points going into the final round of the championship. Had an absolute disastrous race that day and got beat on Volakongan in the title. Mr. Consistency himself beat him to the title in Season 32 F2. Will Aurelian make it second time a charm here in PSGL? Let's wait and find out.
Yeah, we do. And this is our championship standings. And 9 points separating the two of them. And, it would actually help if I got the right standings there. I got the wrong standing. So, that doesn't help. So, hold on. I will put the camera screen up and talk you through. That was one thing I forgot to do was show you the standings. But if Aurelian outscores Cameron Dowd on track, Aurelian becomes the champion. That's all that's being said. That's all that's being asked there. If Cameron Dowd wins the race, Aurelian needs to finish 4th or higher to be crowned champion. If Aurelian finishes 5th in this scenario, Cameron Dowd will take the title by 1 point. If Cameron Dowd finishes on the podium, so that is 2nd place or 3rd place, then Aurelian will need to be 8th or higher to be crowned champion. And we haven't just got the Drivers' Championship to decide, James. What are the Constructors' permutations? Because you know a bit more about that.
Constructors' permutations are pretty simple, to be honest. AlphaTauri and Red Bull. Dr. Helmut Marko is probably sweating right now somewhere, probably in Austria, I'm assuming. But AlphaTauri and Red Bull, separated by only, 15 points, I think it is, coming into tonight. Permutation is simple. AlphaTauri, there are 29 points available out of the Constructors' standings. 16 for first, 12 for second, plus a fastest lap point. That's where we get the 29 from as a maximum. And 29 points being available is really important because AlphaTauri currently lead the championship. They're 15 points clear. Red Bull, they need to outscore them by 16 points. So basically a race win and AlphaTauri to fall by the wayside and fall out of the standings, quite literally. Red Bull will win the championship by 1 point if that happens. But AlphaTauri have been strong this season. Red Bull have been strong this season. All comes down to this final 29-lap thrash around the Bahrain International Circuit. I cannot wait, and the drivers are readying up right now.
Yes, and luckily there was a patch update earlier on in the day, which hopefully fixes the fog. And I was watching PSF2 earlier on, and it looks so much better. So you're going to get a better broadcasting experience on that. We would like you to let us know your predictions of the championship. So who's going to win the drivers out of Aurelian and Cameron Dowd? Who's going to win out of AlphaTauri and Red Bull? give us a shout. Let us know your thoughts. I'm looking at both YouTube and Twitch. James is looking at YouTube because he can see that as well. Hopefully one day I can give him access so he can see both of the chats. There's quite a few support for Cameron Dowles in the chat. We've got Knight F1 who's thinking that Daddy Moba is going to win. I assume that's Barat. Flynn saying let's go. And we also got Cameron's dad in the chat who must be very nervous going into tonight for his son. I must be as well. I'm sure any parent will be there as well. Markados was very early in the chat saying they want an Aston Martin podium. Well, Markados has done very well in this track in the past, James. He won last time we were here, season 34, taking victory from Max in second, and now doing third. 2 drivers of the 3 are not here tonight. Markados is. So, the confidence that Markados is showing, could it be justified?
Yeah, I think it could be justified. Obviously, he was F3 back in the day in PSGL, and he's really improved, I think, ever since that period. Ever since he was part of TF10, I think, back in the day, and other teams as well. But he's done a fantastic job. And Mark does, of course, winning last season around here. It's going to fill him with a bit of confidence. He'll have that in the back of his mind. Even though he was talking German to me a little bit earlier on, he will have that in the back of his mind as to a confidence builder. And hopefully mentality will be the order of the day. The drivers are out on track right now here in qualifying. We've got 16 drivers here tonight. It's a little bit down on attendance, but it will make up for really good racing, I am sure, out on track. The first guy out on track, I think, is OP Tim, if I'm not mistaken, in the Alpine. It is not him. He's first out on track on my end. It is the Williams, I think, that is first out on track of F7 on Mubarak. And Mubarak was saying on Twitter earlier on that he had a 27.2 in him. No pressure.
Yes, and I think for some drivers, it's going to be a last chance saloon. We haven't talked much about this, but season 36, not going to be long away. I showed briefly the calendar accidentally when I was trying to get to the right camera screen because I didn't show the right standings, but they only have a 2-week break pretty much until the end, until the start of season 36. It is not long for them to get their heads together for the season. We'll go through the calendar in the break if we get a lobby restart, but if we don't get a lobby restart, we will literally talk about it towards the end of the stream because there are some interesting scenarios. We've got fan-voted tracks as well, which you can currently vote on the PSGL Twitter account. So if you want to vote for your favourite tracks, please do so. But anyway, let us go on board with a lap of Mubarak as he makes his way towards turn number 1, named after a Formula 1 driver as Mr. Michael Schumacher. Heavy braking zone, get the apex corner right, heading towards turn 2 and 3. Clip the curb on the exit and heading towards turn number 4, which is a medium level braking zone to maximise the entrance into the corner. Car should be placed far to the left as possible, which he does so. And this was the corner where we've seen people going 3 wide back in PSF2 just a few moments ago. Heading towards turn 5 to 7, slight right kick, and then heading towards the heavy braking zone of turn 8 in the midpoint of the lap. Drivers may aim to take a right line to maximise traction, heading towards now turns 9 and 10. This is a tricky downhill braking zone. It has a double left-hander. Lockups are extremely easy around this circuit, and it could make a difference on whether you're going to get pole or not. Head towards turn 11 off the back of the old GP2 start-finish straight, and you're going to be around about 6th gear through 12 and 13, and it is a flat-out right-hander which can catch drivers out again. 4th gear corner through the exit of turn 13, and Mubarak has invalidated. So we're not going to go on board with him, but let's go on board with OP Tim. Now, he's just about to finish his lap, so we've gone on board with a whole lap, not by the same person to Tim. He's going to exit the final 2 corners, but I want to call it the final corner, because I don't think turn 14 and 15 is 2 corners, to be honest. But Tim goes up to the line, and it's a 1:27.8 for him. Of course, OP, not formally now disbanded. Tim looking to go into another team. Formerly OP Ryan, now NLR Ryan, slots himself into P3, and F7R Louis slots himself into P1. Where's our championship protagonist at? Aurelian is one of the first of our championship protagonists to cross the line soon.
He is indeed coming down in toward the final corners of turns 14 and 15. He's looking good. Cameron Dowds was quicker than him, though, coming through the first sector. So Aurelian has got something to try and find in this final sector. He's going to blow everyone out the water, though, with this lap. At 27.7, 600's clear of F7R Louis Valentin there in second. Cameron Dowds is on the run toward the line as well. The Scotsman, 27.6, though, from Francesco, now putting himself in the apple cart. Now Cameron Dowds comes through the final corner on the run to the line. Is he going to go quickest out of everyone? No, goes second, but that is a confidence builder there early on, ahead of Aurelian. That's exactly where he wants to be and exactly what he wants to do in terms of the standing so far. Francesco out on top, Cameron Dowd second, Aurelian in third, but that is a good showing from Cameron Dowd, already quicker than Aurelian.
Yes, and even though he may need a bigger points haul than everybody else of Aurelian, he is definitely giving him some confidence being ahead of him right now. That could pretty much ease the pressure off him and gain pressure to Aurelian, which is not what Aurelian wants. But Aurelian is looking like the most consistent driver this season. He's only got 1 win compared to Cameron Dowds' 3 wins. But that doesn't mean that he's not the favourite. I think personally Aurelian is the favourite, but we know how Cameron Dowds can handle the pressure. He won last week in Silverstone, and to be honest, if you can agree with me when you were commentating with Byron, massive shout out to Byron, by the way, he's done a fantastic job covering for us two for the last 2 weeks, and he's doing F3 for the first time in forever. But I have to say, consistency is what wins you championships. It doesn't matter about wins, but it will help if Aurelian were to get a win tonight. Cameron Dowds puts off a good win, which I think, in my opinion, pretty much gave the title fight one more lease of life.
Yeah, definitely so. And I mean, looking at the average points per race that we've got the top 10 actually for the average points per race this season. Cameron Dowds is second behind Max Partner. Max Partner long gone, left after round 3 of the championship. Cameron Dowds has scored 10 points on average compared to Aurelian's 8. So if that is anything to go by, there's a 2 points differentiation between Cameron Dowds and Aurelian in terms of the points. Not only that, qualifying as well. Cameron Dowds, an average of 4.3, so basically 4th in qualifying. Aurelian basically qualifying a 5th. So Cameron Dowds, again, in qualifying, is ahead of Aurelian. And again, ahead of Aurelian in the finishing position, although the finishing position is a lot closer as well, 4.3 to 4.4 in terms of the average finishing position. I'm probably spouting out numbers. It is all within our fact sheet that we've got here tonight for the comms box, but Marquinhos is on the run now down the straight. He actually backed off his lap running on his first run, now on his second run, on the run towards turn 1. The OP man, the former OP man, still hasn't decided what team he's going to be joining, but Marquinhos now coming through the left-hander for turns 2 and then through the right-hander turn number 3, where Grosjean had that horrible crash, of course, in 2020. And we'll see what his first sector split is going to be like now up the hill in towards turn number 4. Marquinhos now coming through the final corner in the first sector, coming through this first sector split to 28.4 in the first sector. So not too bad by Marquinhos. We should be seeing, though, 28.2s, 28.1s as the session progresses.
Yes, and he was very confident here last season, which helped him a little bit. Unfortunately, he was in the championship fight last season and it didn't go well, and he just missed out on the championship fight this season. But to be honest, he's probably glad he's not under the pressure this season. He just wants to have some fun going into the final race, because it's always sad if you're always the first to lose, as it were. And Marquinhos improving, got a win as well this season for the first time in ages, so he is improving on that. He's looking to potentially get another one tonight as well. 1 minute 6.1 in the middle sector. I don't know what that translates to in actual sector terms, but Marquinhos heads towards the back straight as Mubarak goes fast with a 1:27.611. But here comes last season's race winner around here. It was round number 2 where we last visited at PSGL. Up to the line he goes, and it is 4th fastest. By the way, first used in Formula 1 back in 2004, so it's been there for a very long time, and a circuit length of 5.412 kilometres, and it has 3 DRS zones with plenty of opportunities for overtaking. Now Stefano, by the way, goes at 7th fastest. A decent job from him. It's pretty close grid at the moment, but it's too close to call on who I think is going to be on par. It could be anyone's game.
Yeah, very close to call. Marquinhos, by the way, set the same lap time as Cameron Dowds and all of that as well. So he's actually on the same lap time. Cameron Dowds set that before him. That's why he's 3rd. Marquinhos there in 4th. Michael Schofield there in the chat on Twitch saying, Great commentary, great voice and entertainment. It's only Q1. Unfortunately, that Q1 that you're seeing at the top left-hand side of your screen is a little bit of a glitch that we've got on the spectator side. We are in short qualifying. It's 18 minutes worth of qualifying, and then we're straight into a 50% race, so it is 29 laps that you've got to look forward to here tonight. But Mo Barada in top, Francesco second, Cameron Dowd's there in third early on. NLR Ryan on lap, OP Tim is on lap as well, and Tim has been finding good feet in qualifying. I've got to be honest, he did very well the last couple of weeks. Tim has been right there or thereabouts in qualifying. 9th position for him. Bahrain, not one of his favourite tracks, but his favourite middle sector is a 105.9. He's 3/10 up, so maybe he might have just pulled the wool over my eyes with this lap. He's coming in hot. Is the man of OP, the former OP man there down, in towards the right-hander of turn number 14 and 15. He'll be next to come across the line. He's got a bit of traffic ahead of him, and that is going to be a little bit of slipstream that he's going to get from the AlphaTauri. Is that Cameron Dowd starting up on a lap? It is indeed. Tim comes to the line, 127.5. Good lap time indeed from him. But Cameron Dowd maybe just getting in the way there slightly.
Interesting fact from Narrating Kirby in the YouTube chat. Bahrain is celebrating its 20th anniversary in a few weeks' time in real life. So that is interesting. So it's going to be a very, very remarkable occasion if someone wins the championship in the 20th anniversary as well. So yeah, it's going to be incredible. And I can't wait actually to see what the other championship finales will entail. Don't forget, it's not just us to have a championship finale. Oh no, we've got F3 and F5 that still got their drivers' titles to be decided. So make sure you check those out as well. But if I were you, stay in F1 because we've got the drivers and the constructors to be decided. We will keep you updated as the session goes on that front. And just a quick reminder as well, as Volakongan's about to head into the final corner, we got few people setting laps. Tom came across the line in third in the Mercedes. What can Volakongan do? 27.7. That is only 11th spot. It is quite close. We've got one of the Red Bulls up to the line, as it wasn't a run-in, it was his teammate Jeroen, only in 14th. Very impressed with Jeroen last week. It was really great to see. But massive shout out to one of our partners, our newest partners, Sim Racing Centre. I need to actually get up the stuff on my screen because I don't have it up on my screen because I'm an idiot. There we go. Sim Racing Centre, the lead provider for all things F123. Whether you need a mega setup, expert engineering or strategy advice or one-on-one coaching with some of their amazing team, you can book a session and get direct advice from two-time F1 esports champion Brendan Lee. And you can use the code PSGL at checkout for 10% off your purchase. And Gil might want to find some more time with that as he goes 14th.
He does indeed. Cameron Dowd's, though, out on top. What is the one thing that Cameron Dowd and Brendan Lee actually have in common?
They were in PCF1.
Yeah, they raced in PCF1, and Cameron Dowd so far looking very, very good, I've got to say. Tim there second and Rally in there in third in PSF1. PCF1, as I say, returns on Wednesday nights. If you are tuning in for PCF1 and you're getting confused by the title, like many of you might be, it is PlayStation tonight. It's all based on the console, but you get to see the future stars. You get to see the rising stars in the ranks here in PSGL. Cameron Dowd's including that. Once a podium sitter in Abu Dhabi, I think it was, in PCF1 back in the day, picking up that P2 finish. Jarno Okmir has won twice around here as well in the past in Bahrain, so there's a little bit of a fun fact for you as we go through. And with the driver's thoughts, actually, with Aurelian and Cameron Dowd's being in that championship fight, Aurelian mentioning tonight there's no holding back, and both Cameron and I will be putting pedal to the metal.
Yes.
This track is made to separate the elite from the very best, so may the best man win. And Cameron Dowd's just thoughts coming into tonight, and I think he's taken this quite literally on what his performance is so far. I think naturally I obviously feel it's going to be tough. I have to come first and he has to come fifth. So all I can do tonight is be at my best and hopefully win and hope that something happens behind and get some luck. So Cameron Dowd's not necessarily feeling confident. Aurelian clearly is. But looking at qualifying so far, Jess, Cameron Dowd should be the one that's confident.
Yes, but at the moment, if it was to be like this in the race, then he's not going to win the title like this. But he's doing all he can at the moment. And you never know, people could make mistakes. And we've seen championships go all the way down to the wire before and they lose it by 1 point sometimes. And it can be absolutely heartbreaking. But for these guys, they're going to hope that they don't lose out by 1 point. That will be major. Or don't lose out on comeback like an Xbox tier in PSGL back in the past. That was ages ago, of course. And I think there was one other PS Championship I commentated on where they also decided on comeback. And then there was one last year that was decided by the stewards. We don't want to talk too much about that, and let's hope that doesn't happen again. They have been warned again, no team interference. It's only constructors interference. If you're in the same constructor,
wow,
you're allowed to have each other's more bright, by the way. 127.313. He's out there on top, and he's gone out super early, so he's confident, James.
He's a shrewd investor. I didn't even see him on a lap there. And I think he's running out of sync compared to everyone else because he's going to have to get back into the pit lane and then try and go for another run. But judging by the gap that he's put between himself and Cameron Dowds, that is a significant gap for Bahrain. It's about a 10th and 3/4 the gap between Mubarak and Cameron Dowds right now. And as I say, very shrewd because I didn't even see that he was on a lap there. So he was out of sync compared to everyone else, but he's out on top. He was clearly feeling, though, on Twitter that he had a 27.2 in him, and he's now 1400ths of a second off of 27.2. We want to see that 27.2, Mubarak. He is my secret man for pole position as well. Cameron Dowds in second, Tim there in third, Aurelian there in fourth. The drivers are now coming out for their final runs. Let us know in the comment section how you think this qualifying session is going to go. Is Cameron Dowds going to top Mubarak? Or is somebody else going to come from behind and try and get on the board in terms of the lap times? I'm looking further down the field, Jess, and I'm thinking immediately Tom one to watch out for, Francesco one to watch out for.
Francesco was looking very good earlier on in qualifying, so I could see why he is one of your picks as well. And Kirby is saying in the chat, if someone sets a 27.2 or better, get James to drink some water. I've
got half a bottle already.
Yeah, I've got some water on my desk because I know it's going to be absolutely crazy race. Bahrain always is. So I hope you're all strapped in and grab some popcorn, folks, because it's going to be absolutely entertaining as well. And it's great that we are introducing... Oh, Mubarak's retired from the session. So he's not going to go out again because he doesn't have time, of course. But it's great that we have the championship finale and we're trialling out going on Twitch and YouTube at the same time as well. It's meant to be. We're trying out new things at PSGL. It's worked well with the E-Series, PCF2 and PCF1, so we thought we may as well try it here. Vola Congan is the first to go out on the lap, as well as Keke. Keke is just right behind him. I can see a lot of traffic in Sector 3. We haven't had an illegal blocking yet. I won't be surprised if we get one in a minute because of the traffic in Sector 3. In the back straight. But here comes Vola Congan through turn number 4 as he cuts on the left-hand side on the exit. Through turns 5, 6 and 7, 28.40 is not improving at all. So I don't think he's going to have the run for pole position.
I think his lap is going to be in this middle sector. He's got, everyone pretty much in a 27.7 ahead of him. Marcados is 8th, and he's only a 10th ahead of him. So Vola Congan, if you can find a 10th from somewhere, nice Tokyo drift there through turn number 10. If you can find that little bit of pace through this middle sector and put him on course to maybe beat Marcados, Radadel, Ryan, he'll be aiming to go 27 sixes around here, not 26 sixes, because otherwise he'll be on pole by an absolute country mile. As Vola Congan comes through this middle sector split, that's more like it. He has gained about a 10th of a second in that middle sector, so he's looking pretty good, the Norwegian. Running out down the hill, Mr. Consistency himself, as I call him. He's there down in 13th, but not going to be there for long. He's going to be aiming Francesco Wiener Marcados. That sort of range, that sort of ballpark, I think, for his lap. Comes through the final corner. On the run to line does Vola Congan. Actually bails into the pit lane, so clearly not happy with that final sector and how that progressed. Vola Congan back into the pit lane, and he's going to be starting no worse than 13th at the minute.
Keke is not able to improve either, so he goes in into the pit lane. So let's watch one of the Mercedes come towards the line. We've got Francesco, who can't get pole position. He is in 4th place right now. But here comes Tom. He is unfortunately invalidated. Here is our championship leader. He is a favourite going into this. What can he do? Can he produce a pole lap of his life? He goes up to the line. Oh, P2 at 127.440. We got Wiener, who's joined CPI recently. He goes second. A brilliant lap from him. I think Cameron Dowles goes up to the line. Can he get pole position? No, he's 3,000 off his previous best. He stays 5th. That is not ideal for him at all. His championship leader and protagonist is right ahead of him by a few places. We got Ryder Dallas capable to the line in 9th. We got Tim up to the line as well. He is in at 7th. We got, I think, Gil, who goes up to the line. Of course, the season 26 champion. Aurelian and Cameron Dow's looking to follow the footsteps of those two. He's in 12th. Ryan going towards the back straight, but we got Louis Valentine up to the line. He does not improve, so it's just going to be the two Aston Martins. Can last season's race winner come up to the line and get pole? No, Ryan, I don't know, as I wasn't able to tell there. But if I'm not too mistaken, I didn't think we got an illegal blocking, I think. That is a first of PSGL. Let me just check quickly.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
No, so no lobby restarts. We've got to get going very, very quickly, James. I'll let you go through the order.
Yeah, Mubarak out on top from Wiener in second, 800th of a second, and Wiener, by the way, coming in storming, like, very shrewd going into second. Aurelian there in third, Stefano fourth, Cameron Dowds there in fifth, up against it early on in qualifying. Francesco in sixth, Tim in seventh, Tom in eighth. That's going to be fun for us on the fourth row of the grid. Rodadell and Louis Valentine ran off the top 10. Then Markedos, Ryan, Giel, Butler Congan, Keke top 15, and then your own. Disappointing that from him, 27.9. Down in 16th position. We are going to go to our intermission break from GT Omega.
Hello everybody and welcome back to PSGL PSF1, the title decider, live on Twitch and YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what the drivers need to do in order to win this one. It's between Aurelian and Cameron Dow's, and I know the lobby's going to get started very, very quickly. So James, what does the top two need to do?
Aurelian, if he outscores Cameron Dowds on track, he will take the championship as it stands. He's starting third, Cameron Dowds down in fifth, and would wrap up the championship as it stands. Cameron Dowds, if he wins the race, Aurelian needs to finish fourth or higher. If he finishes fifth, Cameron Dowds wins the title by 1 point. Cameron Dowds, if he finishes on the podium, either second or third, Aurelian will need to finish 8th or higher to be crowned champion. And if AlphaTauri outscore Red Bull tonight as well with the Constructors, they'll be crowned Constructors champions. Out of 29 points available, 16 points is the gap between Red Bull and AlphaTauri. 16 points is what is needed for Red Bull as well to wrap up the championship, and that could mean the team finishes first with one of their drivers. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, we're going to have to do some maths, unfortunately, James, for the constructors, and I think the drivers as well. So hold your horses. Don't worry, we'll figure out who is where. But we are going to be enjoying the action tonight, sitting in our lovely, comfy GT Omega chairs. 5% off all GT Omega products using the code PSGL at checkout. You can click the link in the description or use the command !GT Omega. Including from a two-time F1 esports champion.
Yeah, including that one with Brendan Lee, and obviously with Cameron Dowds in the lineup here tonight. He's already got first-hand experience of outschooling Brendan Lee in a couple of races in PCF1. Hopefully, though, he's going to be outschooling the field here tonight. We're going to get going very, very soon indeed. Hopefully, everything is going to be according to plan. And here come the 5 red lights right now here in Bahrain. Final race of the season is underway. Mubarak gets a very good start. Wiener alongside him on the roll of the grid. Aurelian will try and have a run down and towards turn number 1 as well, but Mubarak will lead comfortably in towards turn number 1. Wiener tries to look to the outside line. The man of CPI getting around the outside holds second. Aurelian there in third, and Cameron Dowds is up to fourth, and now hunting on the back of his title rival Aurelian ahead. Third and fourth position currently Congan and Strife down the field. He ran wide slightly coming through turn number 3 as Mubarak leads up the hill in towards turn 4, the end of the first sector. Wiener in second, Aurelian third, Cameron Dowds there in fourth, Francesco there in fifth. Very good start by everyone. Tom and Rodadell are side by side in the midfield. Tom through and he's into 8th. Rodadell there down in 9th. And there goes Aurelian for the move on Wiener. Very late move down and towards turn 7. Tries to get the job done. Now up the hill and towards the double left at turns 9 and 10. Mubarak leads comfortably. Aurelian through and into second. Wiener there in third. Fantastic start and hardly any damage throughout the field. Very good start by everyone.
Yeah, it is a very good start from everyone as well. Markados trying to go up the inside of Louis Valentine, heading towards turn 11. And I think he's going to make this move stick. Or is the Louis Valentine going to go around the outside? He does go around the outside of Markados up into 11th spot. We'll get you through your tyres. And it's quite a mixed bag of strategies right now as Jeroen and Keke going side by side in turn 13. Most people have gone for Sev hards, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers on a Sev softs, including Aurelian, who's on the softs. Cameron Downs opted for the hards, as is most people. And we got OP Tim is going on for 7 memes as going to be the outlier in this situation. Look at that midfield battle between Jeroen and Markador still going side by side. But let's keep an eye on Aurelian and Mulback. This is going to be key for them as they go down the inside towards turn number 1. We got free wide with Rena as well, as Rena's going to try and get both of them. But Rena just takes a slice back and decides to stay put for now. As Aurelian takes the lead. Cameron Downs almost went off there, but he's up to 3rd.
He is up to 3rd, but Wiener moved right across on him in towards the apex of turn number 2. Cameron Dowd still had half the car alongside. Cameron Dowd could be in trouble here, down in 3rd. I don't think he's got any damage. He has certainly been knocked with that, though. Wiener spun down in 16th position. He'll be probably thinking, what on earth was the McLaren doing? Cameron Dowd's there in 3rd. I think deserved to be given a little bit more room there from my perspective. Louis Valentine getting the move done and right at all in the back end of the field as well in 8th and 9th position respectively. But Aurelian leads, Mubarak 2nd, Cameron Dowd in 3rd. Cameron Dowd in strife, Wiener just leaving him short of room.
Yeah, Wiener is right at the back of this now, which is very unfortunate for him. But again, I really do hope that the title side doesn't go to the Stewards. But Aurelian is doing what he needs to do. If he outscores Cameron Downs, that's it. He is champion, and he's already pulling out all the stops. He's got 1 win this season. That was in Miami, and that was the race where James missed, and he's probably got it in miss because himself and Cameron Downs was, I think, about 30 thousandths separating the two of them across the line. So we could see something like that tonight as Louis Valentine gets past Tom. Louis is on a fight right now, and he's going through the field and getting past the hard runners. He's now going to try and get past Tim very soon, but can Tom fight back a little bit? And don't forget, tyre wear around this track is 1% less per lap compared to F122, which strongly suggests that is why people have gone for the soft tyres a little bit more on this game, as Louis Valentine DRS is going to be enabled soon, but I think we've got the people in front DRS enabled, so it's going to be life very tricky for him to make the move stick, I think, for now. So they just got to be patient and save their energy. But we've got an F7R12. They can't help each other, though. That's not allowed, because that's a word I can't remember what it is.
I was involved with that, sorry. I was involved with Markadors and GLGL throughout the field there. They were side by side through the entirety of the first sector, and Markadors in the end just got forced out of road by the Ferrari. Great racing between them both, and the German now on the back foot with Keke in behind them as well further down the field. But a great stop by everyone so far. Louis Valentine, he's definitely had his fair share of croissants, quite literally, there in 7th position. He's doing a fantastic job. Tom separating with Tim right now, which is good for us in the commentary box. Louis Valentine splitting the pair right now. He is on that set of softs. The set of softs compound tyre, we're off at about 6% per lap around this track. As per F122, which is what you mentioned there, Jess, 7% a lap on the last game. So it is slightly less, but it's still grinding at the same effect. So Louis Valentine's got to be careful with those tyres. Same with Aurelian, same with Stefano, same with Francesco, all on that set of soft compound tyres. They've got to be careful for that graining in this early stage. As Tim sizes up the move on Francesco, down in towards turn 1. Mubarak was looking at the back as well of Aurelian, not going to get the move done there. I think we're just going to run in a big old DRS train throughout the field right now. Aurelian there leading, Mubarak in 2nd, Cameron Dowd there in 3rd. Mubarak, of course, now joining the ranks of F7R with OP's closure on F1. Aurelian leading the way, Mubarak 2nd, Cameron Dowd there in 3rd. Jensen mentioning in the chat as well, Wiener struggling, and Aurelian on the softs is interesting. It is indeed. And Aurelian, I think that decision personally, Jess, might just come back to bite him in, say, 3, 4, 5 laps time where the tyres are really going to be graining.
I think the only thing that he would hope for was an early safety car, but I think in PSF1, we don't see safety cars here that often. So I think he's just going to hope that everyone else struggles at the back, so he's able to pull a gap. 7 laps optimal, according to my notes that we've written for this race, is where the softs are going to last. After that, it's pretty much at the crossover point, and the hards and the mediums start to become faster. We know the hards take a bit while to warm up, and now Mulbarak is absolutely going to be loving life on those hard compounded tyres. Tim's got to make a move on soon, otherwise he's going to be held up on the soft runners. But now he's being passed by Louis Valentine once again, who's up another position, up into 6th. Louis Valentine doesn't care about qualifying. He's much better in terms of the race. We've got Shizou Tom, who's trying to fight with OP Tim in the end of the last corner. Still going side by side. DRS will be in that Hazel. Tom is tucked back behind OP Tim for now. But Tim's going to get some straight line speed and get back on Tim. That was a dive bomb and a half headed towards turn number 1. Really late on the brakes goes Tim. They bang wheels a little bit, but Louis gets the job done in the switchback. Louis back up into 6th place, and Tim, unfortunately, couldn't make the move stick. We got Tim, who's using quite a bit of ERS, but not a lot, but he's got plenty to last for the rest of his lap. But he's on durable tyres, and he's probably going for a medium to hard strategy, or he could go for one of our most unlikely strategies on the list, medium to soft, but I don't think he's going to try that. But pretty much the top 15 are all in quite a big DRS train currently, so it only takes one driver to make a mistake and all chaos could break loose.
Yeah, definitely so. I tended as well, back in when I was league racing around here a couple of months ago, Tim is probably on the better strategy. He's on that set of medium compound tyres right now. He's there in 7th position. In my league race from experience, I tried to drag out the field around here, and I actually won around here, so I'm just going to throw that out there now. Tim, though, on that set of mediums, he's finding it a little bit tough because Louis Valentine's ahead of him. Louis Valentine's already outdone him on a set of softs. Tim was trying to get him down towards turn of 1, and then he thought second of it. And now we've got the Tim and Tom battle, which is going to be very good. It's like Bill and Ben. It's like Gavin and Stacey. It's like every other of your favourite characters out there. Tim on the back of Louis Valentine, Tom in behind as well, 7th and 8th position right down the straight. Mubarak, though, was, I think, looking at the back of a rally in here for the race lead. He's going to pull out the slipstream to the inside line, in towards turn 1. The man on the set of hards overtakes the man on the set of softs and Mubarak too, and he's into the race lead. A rally in there in 2nd, Cameron Dowd's there in 3rd. Beginning to, though, split in the midfield. Tim is beginning to struggle on those mediums. He's just lost about 0.2 of a second there on the back of Francesco. A rally and taking the defensive line on Cameron Dowd. And now, Jess, this is going to be interesting. The title contenders are together on track.
Yes, and I think Cameron Dowds, it was definitely feeling a little bit patient right now, and this is really starting to come into effect with the tyres now. The Delta's coming into play. The optimum pace is about to lose out for Aurelian, whereas Cameron Dowds is like, you know what, I'll try and gain as many positions as I can, and he's got Mubarak right ahead of him as well, so it's going to be very interesting to see how Cameron Dowds take this one. I mean, Cameron, we know he's a smart driver. He's 14 years of age. He's really a really calm driver, but I know he's going to be very, very nervous, but he's probably going to be told it's a long race. It's going to be the longest 29 laps of your life. Just keep it calm, keep it collected, and make sure that you finish as high as you can and not worry about the drivers around you. Because if you start to worry too much, that's where the pressure gets to you, and that's what hindered me in many fights I've had battling for championships and stuff like that. But 9 times out of 10, I was one of the last in that championship fight. But anyway, Cameron Dowd is going to use his overtake mode, and he's going to easily breeze past Aurelian. You can tell Aurelian's softs are starting to die, as Jensen was just pointing out in the chat. Cameron Dowd could have almost got a move on Burak there, but he didn't. But Cameron Dowd up into 2nd, not quite where he needs to be in terms of winning the championship, but as it stands, I believe, because I don't think his teammate is here tonight, as it stands, it could be quite close between him and Red Bull for the championship.
AlphaTauri, as it stands, with Cameron Dowd outscoring Aurelian and your own outside of the points, AlphaTauri would wrap up the constructors as it stands right now. 2nd position for Cameron Dowd, so it'll be 12 points for AlphaTauri. Red Bull are currently on 10 with Aurelian. Your outside of the points, only by 1 position. But if that swing comes, it's still a big swing that Red Bull need. It's a 16-point gap, as I mentioned, for the constructors' standings to be sorted out. AlphaTauri so far with Cameron Dowd in 2nd, looking pretty good. And Cameron is now going to try and get on the back of Mubarak. Mubarak, though, leading the way. 78% of ERS. Cameron Dowd's on 43. Cameron Dowd's normally, like in Britain last week, where he, of course, did very well at. Cameron Dowd's in 2nd position. He's there on the back of Mubarak. He was very good in terms of his ERS usage around there in Britain, and that's what he's going to be trying to hope for again, with Mubarak ahead of him having 30% more, 35% more, in fact, than Cameron Dowd. Cameron Dowd doesn't care who you are, though, really. He's going to go for the move anyways. down in towards turn 1. Cameron Dowd now sits his sights on the race lead for the first time in the race. Cameron Dowd, probably not for the last time either. Cameron Dowd takes the race lead. Mubarak in second, and rallying in third. And there's Tom driving it down the inside line, and Francesco. Very late stuff indeed from the Mercedes, but he is getting his look so far. Tom there in 6th position. Francesco there in 7th, doing a good job. He's going to try and have a run back at him up the hill and towards turn number 4, but it is Tim in 5th, Tom in 6th, Francesco in 7th, and again, we've got a Tim-Tom battle, which is going to be entertaining for us, at least with the names.
Yeah, exactly. I believe Tom has also won around here. I think it was either season 32 or season 33, if I'm not too mistaken. So he knows how to win around here. Actually, might have been season 32 that he's won over here. He's also
33.
won here in 33. So he also won in PSF2 around this track as well. So he does have experience. So his pace is looking quite strong on those hard compound tyres as well. He's a net third in terms of the ones on the hard compound tyres. So he just got to play it steady too. That's what the hard runners are going to be doing right now, is making sure that they can keep their cool and get past those soft runners as quickly as they possibly can. The soft runners, if I were them, probably in about 2 laps time I would come in into the pit lane, or maybe even 3 laps time, to try and go onto a set of hards. I tried lasting about 90 laps around here on those set of hards, and it's quite difficult, but mainly because my tyre management on this game is absolutely awful. And I know these guys, they're top tier drivers. They can manage tyres a lot better than I can. That's why we're in the commentary box rather than driving on track at the moment. As Gil gets past Louis Valentin up into 9th place. 2 Ferrari powered cars fighting with each other again, and it's working well with Gil right now. It's a bit of a squirm for the Aston Martin driver. That was NLR Ryan, who almost caught the back of Jeroen, but Ryan stayed in front of Jeroen for now, but that could have been a mistake, which could have been very costly.
It was costly because he's now outside of the DRS range. So Louis Valentin, he does not want to be sitting there. 1.2 seconds behind on the back of Louis Valentin. Both of them, of course, former teammates as part of Outplayed Racing. Now splitting aside, F7R against NLR, which is going to be interesting with the whole team event dynamic completely changing with OP now ending. Louis Valentin in 10th, signing for F7R. Ryan in 11th, signing for NLR. And he is outside of DRS range. So Louis Valentin's now going to get away on his older pretender in GLG. Louis Valentin and Gil go way back in PSGL, and certainly in F1 Esports as well. They're 9th and 10th position indeed at this moment in time. Always good to see a good battle between the old guard of PSGL. Cameron Dowd still leading the way on lap 9 out of 29. Mubarak there in second, and rallying in third. Stefano 4th, with Tim in 5th, Tom in 6th. Francesco 7th, Rondar 8th, GLG in 9th, Louis Valentin ran off the top 10. Ryan, Jeroen, Volokongan, Keki, Marco's top 15, and then Wiener right down the bottom end of the field with Cameron Dowd's, of course, that unfortunate contact that Wiener had down the straight. Cameron Dowd spinning them, and there Wiener now down in 16th position, and he needs a safety car, I think, to get back into contention. I think we're going to see a move further down the field. Volokongan moving on Jeroen, moving on Ryan. Ryan's an absolute sitting duck running down the straight. Volokongan breezes on by both of them. Volokongan Toonies into 12th, into 11th even. Jeroen into 12th. Ryan there into 13th, and Ryan has just been caught catnapping.
Yep, he has. I think Ryan has been messed about here right now in 13th. But don't forget, the top 10 at PSGL do score points in this league. And you don't want to be the one who doesn't get points at the final race of the season, because that will not help your cause going into the deciding on where you could be placed for season 36. Don't forget, sign-ups are open for season 36. So if you are watching the stream on Twitch or YouTube and are wondering, hey, I want to be one of those drivers who race on a weekly basis on a Monday or Thursday night, well, you can sign up now. The information is on our Discord page and on X. Information is in the description, so make sure you check that out on YouTube, and it's also on our socials channel pages on Twitch. So check those out as well. We will talk a little bit more about season 36 towards the end of the stream as well, so you'll find out more information about how you can sign up. Now, I think Mubarak is trying to get rid of the slipstream to make sure he can cool the engine and warm up his tyres a little bit. Is Mubarak going to go for a move here? He's going to sense the opportunity. He's hardly using any ERS, so that strongly suggests to me he's not going to go for it.
Louis Valentin, though, and Jeroen are into the pit lane, and this is where we're expecting them to come in. Marcos has overtaken Keki, running down the straight and towards turn of 1 as well. Easy move there for the Aston Martin through. and he's into 12th. But Louis Valentine and Jeroen are in. Set of medium compounder tyres. 18 laps is what I have them at in terms of a full-length stint. This is what they're going to have to do until the end of the race if there's no safety cars. They are going to be absolutely screaming for life come the end of the race. Louis Valentine and Jeroen into the pit lane. The undercut strategy around here is what they are going for. The undercut around here, so powerful. You can gain about a 4 to 6 second advantage around this track.
Mediums.
Depending on when drivers come in on that set of mediums. And they are going to struggle right to the end of the race. They can get to the end of the race, but they're going to be at about 70, 75%, maybe even more than that right at the end. So Louis Valentine and Jeroen, 15th and 16th. It's a bold strategy, as the dodgeball reference goes. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it plays off.
Yeah, I'm a bit intrigued as to why they've done it, to be honest. I thought they would have gone on to the hards, but maybe they don't like a set of hards, so they're going to a set of mediums. And so, look at this, as Tom going for an opportunist move past Tim, and that was absolutely fantastic from the Suzuki driver. Absolutely brilliant. Nobody makes a move through there. But Tom saying, no problem, I could get the job done there. Tom has had some experience this season on the PC side as well, so that's probably helped him a little bit in terms of his Bahrain knowledge. I've got an Alpine that's coming into the pit lane. That is Francesco. He's going on from his set of softs onto probably a set of mediums, but knowing him, he'll probably go onto a set of the hard compounded tyres too. Aurelian and Stefano, they are staying out, so they're probably going to stretch out those softs a little bit until they can get to a medium window. Yes, Francesco goes onto a set of the medium tyres. We'll see where he comes out in relation to Louis Valentine and Jeroen in at the background, of course, as Francesco is going to be where he is at the moment. It's going to be very close between Francesco and Louis Valentine in towards turn number 1, and that was almost close to contact there. Thank goodness that didn't end up in contact. Louis Valentine gets ahead of Francesco. The undercut has worked.
The undercut has worked, and he could even get him outside of DRS range as well. Francesco, though, luckily has got DRS coming up the hill in towards turn number 3. Yeah, he did have the with the DRS detection zone, of course, not being shared around this track as per last year. That's why Louis Valentine is now ahead of Francesco and has got that undercut. Francesco getting that DRS, though, to keep him within a second of the Frenchman in 14th. Cameron Dowds, though, leading the way. Mubarak there in second for the first time in this race. Cameron Dowds coming under a little bit of pressure. Mubarak is really loving life right now. 98%. He said on Twitter earlier on, if I don't take P1, what on earth am I doing here in PSGL? He is doing very well at this stage, and he's got 97% of ERS. Cameron Dowds, for measure, on 67%, 30% less than him, as Aurelian and Stefano are into the pit lane, and this is going to be crucial. Aurelian and Stefano are in. Louis Valentine is coming up the hill out of turn at 12, running down the hill in towards turns 13, 14, 15 at the final corner. This is going to be quite close, even though they're quite far apart now on the track. It is going to be quite close on pit lane exit. Do not be surprised if Louis Valentine comes ahead of Aurelian here.
Yeah, I think because the undercut's around about 2-3 seconds per lap, I will not be surprised at this stage, and it's going to be quite an interesting gap. You never know, it's going to be quite closer than you might think, as Aurelian tries to go around the outside, but don't forget, Louis is going to be on the warmer tyres, so I'm sure Louis is going to try and get Aurelian in towards turn number 4. Aurelian may back out of this one to make sure that he can save his tyres to last until the end of the race, which he does. Doesn't mind it. Louis is ahead. But to be fair, fair play, because Aurelian got ahead of the likes of Francesco, Jeroen and Stefano. So his strategy has worked out. Maybe not the best, but not the worst. So in the middle, I'm impressed with Aurelian so far. But Louis Valentine, definitely the one to watch out for. But wait until his tyres maybe pop at the end of the race as well. Tim is an interesting one. He was the only one who started on the mediums. He's got 2 options. Is he going to do the opposite to what we saw Louis and Aurelian do? Go from the mediums to the softs. And they'll probably have to go maybe a lap 18 or 19 for Seb softs till the end of the race, which is going to be a bit of a push. But we have seen people last about 11 laps on there. As here we go. Tim goes into the pit. He's not going to go onto a set of soft compounded tyres. My bad. As he definitely disproves my theory completely. He's gone for a set of hard compounded tyres.
Yep, only tyre compound that they can actually go on right to the end of the race. So Tim is in, Ryan is into the pit lane. Ryan is the first, I believe, out of the hard runners to come in for a set of mediums. So Ryan going to be fast on that quicker amount of tyre. whether or not he's going to be as quick as Aurelian's going to overtake Louis Valentine running down the straight in towards turn 1. Easy as you like there for the Frenchman, overtaking his fellow countryman. Tim, by the way, is right on the back of this train, just coming out of the pit lane. He's got overtaken by every single one of them that had that undercut on him. So Tim, on the set of hards, he's nearly out of sight of DRS range as well. This is going to be tough for Tim there down in 15th position. Liam Cragg, by the way, in the chat coming out and saying, I heard Karen Chandok in you, James.
Karoon.
Probably the best Karoon Chandok in you, James. Probably one of the best comments I think I've seen all season.
I actually like that as well. We've got someone in the chat saying, come on, Cameron. Also, let us know who you are rooting for in the chat as well for the championship. Would it be Aurelian or would it be Cameron that you want to take the trophy? I think it could go to either one of them, but at the moment, as it stands, net race, it's going to be Aurelian. He's looking like the favourite, but he's got to manage his ties to the end. We've got Flynn, who's thinking Cam on Twitch, so quite a few Cam supporters there as well. But we see a few Aurelian supporters in the chat as well, so get rooting for your favourite, and it will be interesting as Gil gets ahead of Ryderdale, because Ryderdale comes into the pit lane. He's going on for himself hards for 7 mediums. So I wonder if that's going to help matters a little bit. And what did you just see, James?
That was cheeky, because Gil actually was following Ryderdale into the pit lane. He was within the white lines coming into the pit lane, and then he's changed his mind over the pit lane entry, coming out of the slipstream of Ryderdale, and then he's gone on this other lap. So Gil, very cheeky, like. I'm not sure if that's allowed within the rules, to be honest, and I'm not sure if he's probably read the rules, but he's there in 4th position. And because he's obviously changed his mind, coming in as Aurelian's going to get the move done, I think, on the back of Louis Valentine.
Yep, Aurelian gets past him quite comfortably up into 9th spot, so he's in the points currently. But he can't afford to push his tyres too much, because that's where we get to punch territory towards the end of this race. If there's a safety car, Aurelian could be back in this one. He can go on to Seb Sauce later on, and that will be ideal for him, because you can push his tyres until the end of this race. Cameron Dow's still leading for Mulburak. They're still keeping each other strong, and we got Tom in 3rd as well, but they still yet to pit. I think the ones that are staying out on the hard compounder tyres, I'm thinking they're probably going on to a set of softs, because otherwise they would lose out so much time if they pit now onto a set of medium. It's just cruel. So they're going to go onto a set of softs most likely, but again, someone is going to disprove my theory completely. And one of them's probably going to go into the pit lane now. One of them probably Gil, but Gil stays out. He's more bright, going to try and challenge Cameron Dow's for the race lead. He is not going in the slipstream of Cameron Dow's, but he's going to stay on the line, but he backs out of it.
Tom nearly actually forced him into a mistake there, Mubarak. He was very much watching behind him rather than ahead of him. And Tom looked towards the inside line of him and then thought, nah, I'm going to come out. And then Mubarak was a little bit later on the brakes, and he nearly got forced into a mistake there. So Tom definitely playing the game, I think, compared to Mubarak there in 2nd. Tom doing a good job on the back of him. Lap 16 out of 29, by the way, nearly 2/3 of the way through here in Bahrain. Looking through the chat as well, Racing Kirby saying Team Aurelian. Liam Cragg there in the chat, Mr. Joseph saying, and Dirk saying Cameron wins this as well. So very interesting comments coming through. Cameron at the minute is in the race lead. Aurelian, though, has gone 4 extra laps on this medium compared to what Cameron Dowd is going to. The gap between himself and Aurelian right now is 18.1 seconds. Pit stop around here is going to be around 22, 23 seconds. So my calculation, Cameron Dowd is pretty much in the ballpark of where I thought he might be coming out, where the undercut was between the 4 and 6 seconds that I said earlier.
Yes, and if there's a safety car, for some people it will mess them up, but for some people it will be very, very ideal, because they could go to the tyres that they want to currently. So the train is absolutely growing, and we got Tom that's in, and we got more Burak is in, and Cameron Dowd is going in. So the predicted pit stop window that you yourself, James, has predicted, they are coming in. And someone's saying in the chat, can you get me next week's lottery numbers too? Well, I could try, but I am not a good predictor. I always lose in the lottery. That's why I always go for the lucky dip. The ones who have just pitted on from the hards, they've gone to accept the medium compounder tyres, and these guys who are fighting are going to comfortably go ahead of them. But we've got Aurelian and Francesco going side by side. Francesco is leaving no prisoners on Aurelian, and Aurelian is ahead once again of Francesco. We've got Louis Valentine as well right in this bat, and then right by the back of this, we've got the likes of Stefano, Tim, Jeroen, Ride It Out, and Cameron Dowles. Cameron Dowles has got to try and get past the train of guards, but one advantage is Cameron's got the fresher rubber. He could get to the end of this race quite comfortably. We saw other drivers do it, whereas Aurelian may not be able to. But my money for the title is got to be Aurelian. He's had the consistency all season, and I think he's the favourite as well. Someone's saying that they're rooting for me. Thanks, Scott.
Scott, definitely a fan of you. Quite clearly not a fan of me and my driving around here, put it that way. Volakongan leading the way, Markinol second, Wheeler there in third. Liam Bowman, by the way, in the chat, the flying Scotsman himself. F7R to hold Cammy unlucky. We're not getting into team games, that is tomorrow night, but Volakongan leading the way, Markinol second, Wheeler there in third. I will bring my attention, though, and bring your attention in the chat to Tim. He's there in 8th position, net P5 right now. Volakongan and Markdors and Wiener still yet to come in. They're clearly going, I think, set of softs to the front too. But Tim there in 8th position, he will be net P5. There is Wiener coming in the pit lane on the right-hand side. And Tim, on this set of hards, these set of hards are more durable than what you think around this track. He goes to the inside line, on the back of Stefano, in towards 10-1. Should be job done for Tim, and it is job done for Tim. A Barak there through on right and all as well. In the background, a short bit of a slide there from Tim, but he has got the job done. Stefano there in 7th. Tim is the danger man right now. He's there in 6th position. Aurelian there in 3rd. He's about 1.3 seconds ahead of Tim at this stage as Aurelian. Tim in 6th position right now. I think he is the man potentially to watch out for. Do not rule out that set of hard compound tyres at all.
No, definitely not. And he's got the more durable tyres compared to the likes of Aurelian, Francesco, Louis and Stefano. So Tim could try and really pull the gap that he needs to as well. He could be on for his best result of the season. I think Tim has really come on leaps and bounds. He has improved throughout the season. And maybe he could be a dark horse going into season 36, which is coming up in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. So watch this space. And it could be some contenders who you may not notice potentially that could be contenders, because there's quite a few people that could potentially move to PC. I don't think all of them are, but I know we get every season, we always ask the question, are you moving to PC, yes or no? And we see quite a few people do, so expect to see a different pecking order, as it were, as we've got the likes of Jeroen, Stefano, and Cameron Dowles. It's Cameron Dowles. That was really brave for Cameron Dowles. What a move for Cameron Dowles. He's up into 8th. That is, I think, very, very crucial from him. He's pretty much going to avoid the squabbles as Volakongan is being passed by Markados up into 1st as they go side by side towards turn number 3, cutting on the exit. KK gets the fastest up of the race so far, but our attention draws to this midfield battle behind Cameron Dowles now. Borat and Cameron Dowles. Oh no! Spinner! Jeroen's out of this race. Aurelian's teammate. And the unthinkable's happened. Safety car. This is bad news for Cameron Dowles. Good news for Aurelian. He could potentially pit for set of softs.
Like, yeah, Markados and Volakongan are definitely saved by this safety car, as is Wiener right down at the back end of the field. But Jeroen out of the race, all of that led from a little bit of contact through turn number 2. I'm not sure what really happened, but what that led up from was Cameron Dowles and Jeroen. It wasn't on purpose. It was just a catch on the outside curb. It was a mistake. He got chopped off coming through turn number 3. Jeroen then had to recover the car. The Mercedes there of Tom, obviously with no front wing. I think he's just reset the track there as well in the background. Tom there down in 13th position. He's the unlucky one in that because he did not do anything wrong at all. He's there down in 13th. And it's unfortunate for him because he was having a very good race up until that point. It's just the point where Jeroen's basically come on track. Tom has just tried to move left-hand side. They've got caught on each other. That's where the collision has led from. But all of that came from Cameron Dowdes and Jeroen going side by side and playing DRS chicken coming through turns 14 and 15. Not the first time and not the last time I'll probably see that around this track either. But Cameron Dowdes there in 8th. Mubarak there now 9th. And look at where Jeroen is, out of the race. Cameron Dowdes, he had that contact with Wiener. He's Cameron's now played DRS chicken with Jeroen. Cameron is into the pit lane. Tim, though, is the one that's staying out. Go on, my son.
Tim, Mubarak and Gil are playing a gamble here. Markados is also playing a gamble. He's going on for a set of the mediums, but the mediums could be durable, so that could be interesting. We've got 3 different strategies. We've got drivers that stayed out on mediums. We've got drivers that are pitted onto medium. Actually, we've got 4 strategies, actually. We've got Tim that stayed out on hard. And we've got drivers that are pitted onto softs. Are we going to get a title down to the wire if we see one? I think we are. I hope there's not too much carnage, please. But fasten your seatbelts. We thought it was going to be Aurelian's to win, but it could go to anyone right now. I think... I know it's going to take Aurelian to absolutely lose it in order to do that, but it doesn't look likely for him. I think Aurelian has driven a really great race so far and has pulled off a blinder with a strategy. And he hasn't lost that much places because of it. And he's got to try and get past a lot of cars in order to do so. So this is your order then. So OP Tim is leading. Mubarak in second. Mubarak who was rating his chances for this race on Twitter, don't forget. Gil in third, our season 26 champion, who's looking to pass on the baton to someone else. Margados in fourth, Keke in fifth, and then we got the soft runners. Folakungan, Aurelian, Francesco, Louis Valentin, Stefano, Cameron Dowds, Ryder Dow, Ryan, Tom and Wiener. Our first retirement belonging to Jeroen, unfortunately. I was hoping we wouldn't get a safety car, but we are. Almost everyone has caught up now. Has that changed your predictions in the YouTube or Twitch chat? For me, I'm still going with Aurelian for this one. I think Aurelian has got this in the bag.
I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. Because Aurelian's there in 7th. They've got Marcados on a fresh set of mediums in 4th. Volokongan on a fresh set of softs ahead of him in 6th. Aurelian is halfway down the field at this stage, pretty much. He's there with Francesco, halfway down the field. Keke, though, is interestingly coming into the pit lane, which is not what I had on my crib sheet coming into tonight, but he's there into the pit. Set of soft components are going to be on. So now Aurelian is 6th, but he's still a little further way down the field. If he thinks those softs are going to come on immediately, he has to think again, I think, because Aurelian is there in 6th. The further down the field you are, the more difficult it is to overtake. And with Volokongan, who's very consistent as a driver, Marcador's ahead of him, who won around here last season and beat Max and Nando to the win in Bahrain. Marcador's is going to be the real key, I think, in this battle. He's on that set of mediums. Aurelian's on that set of softs, he's down in 6th. Volokongan's in between them in 5th. One of them 3, I think, is probably going to win. But Aurelian, I think, is just a little bit too far down for my liking for him to be winning this race. Cameron Dowds, though, Liam Bowman, with that comment that he mentioned earlier on, I don't think Cammy should have pitted. I totally agree. Cameron Dowds now is in 10th, and as I say, the further you down the field you are, the more difficult it is to overtake, and Cameron Dowds is going to have his work cut out.
He is going to have his work cut out, but he's been under pressure before. He has seen people make mistakes, and he always thrives on that. So, you never know with Cameron Dowds. Anything can happen. And as it stands, already will be crowned our Season 35 PSF1 champion and will add his name to the history books. Obviously, of course, last season we saw Joey Van Bussel add his name to the history books. We saw Max in Season 33. We saw Danerko won one season as well. And I can't remember who won the other season, which strongly suggests I completely forgot who has won. So apologies if you're watching in the chat. But we are back.
Taika Hardy?
Oh, I think it could be Taika Hardy, actually. Safety car is in this lap, and Tim, he's probably going to be very nervous right now. I've been in exactly the same position in Singapore when I was leading on the safety car restart. I was on a set of hards. Most people want to say mediums or the softs. I was defending for my life. I still went on to win that race, so it could be possible for Tim. No, it could be possible for Tim, but it's not impossible, as it were. So we're about to get underway. James, take it away.
Here we go then. The final 8 laps of this Bahrain Grand Prix about to begin. Tim through the final corner. On the run to the line. He'll now put the pedal to the metal, the foot to the floor. He will get back underway very soon indeed. Probably where the DRS detection point is. Now he goes. And Mubarak's caught napping completely. And there's a 5-second penalty further down the field. That was a bit like a Magello sort of style stop. But Tim leads the way in towards turn 1. Gilles and Marcados are side by side down in towards turn 1 as well. The Aston Martin, the Ferrari are side by side. There goes the AlphaTauri. Cameron Dowds to the inside on as well. And Stefano tries to find a way through if he can. Marcados trying to find the way through on Gilles. Can't. Volakonga now in this battle as well, and Aurelian all of a sudden in 6th has been caught completely napping, and he's in a bit of no man's land. Up the hill and towards turn number 4, Volakonga switching to the inside line, and Mr. Consistency himself is Thuni's into 4th, the PSGL Season 32 PSF2 winner, who beat Aurelian to the title that day.
Oh my
Thuni's into 4th,
goodness!
could be for 3rd, driving it down the inside line of the Frenchman at Gilles. Very, very robust move there from Volakonga, and he is Thuni's into 5th. Wiener's got a yellow flag, and I think Tom is in strife further down the field as well.
Yes, there might be some trouble there. I think I saw Wiener's front wing lost it in the final corner. I think it was his.
Yep.
So he's having an unfortunate day, unfortunately. It's Markados trying to go side by side with Gil, but Gil with their warmer tyres is definitely helping now on this back straight. Now heading towards turn number 13. Markados is going to be very, very brave. He's going to go to the right-hand side of Gil. Is he going to make it stick? They've been pushed off the track. It could have been almost contact. But oh my, how on earth did that avoid being a big incident? I think that was great car control there to avoid that, but it was a bit squirmy. Mubarak and Volakonga be pushed off the track again. Tim is still leading, by the way, and that's all because everybody at the back is squabbling everywhere, and he's just saying, you know what, I could chase, try and close the gap. Markados as Tom's out the race, and he's retired in the pit lane. So,
what a move.
What a move from Markados. He's up to 4th. You did say watch out for Markados, didn't you?
I did, but him and Aurelian squabbling is going to bring Francesco Cameron Dowds and Louis Valentin right into play. Louis Valentin was good on the set of softs, and Mubarak gets a switch back on Tim, right to the inside line, in towards turn number 4, gets the job done. The Williams Thuni's into the race lead, the Alpine there in 2nd, maybe feeling those hards, and Volakonga up the inside line as well. Tim definitely feeling those hards now, and now the Norwegian Thuni's into 2nd. Mubarak and Volakonga aim to try and get away. Cameron Dowds and Francesco are side by side in toward the double left of turns 9 and 10. And now, out of all of this, out of all of that, down in towards turn 14, we've got Aurelian and Cameron Dowd right together with each other on track. This is going to be crucial for Cameron Dowd. He has really worked well, very hard though, but worked well to get through where he is. He's there in 6th position. He started there 10th under the safety car, so he's gained 4 positions. Aurelian and Markados are going to be having their own private fight, so this has got the writing on the wall for Cameron Dowd to try and get both of them potentially down the straight.
Yeah, the Cameron Dowds has got outscored already, and by 10 points in order to win this championship. It's going to be harder for Cameron Dowds to do it, but anything is possible with PSGL PSF1. All that he's got to do is hold position, and then he's got the title, which again is going to be easy said and done. The softs will die soon, so if Aurelian can do it, then he's going to try at least. Volakonga and Mubarak going side by side, heading towards turn number 1 and 2. Mubarak puts his foot to the floor. So does Volakonga.
Beautiful.
No one wants to back this off. And it is Volakonga who's played this strategy perfectly, who takes the race lead. But here comes our championship protagonist, going side by side in towards turn number 4. And what a brilliant move for Cameron Dowds. Cameron Dowds is up into 5th. Cameron Dowds, I believe, needs to gain 2 more places, and then he's won the PSGL title. But it's going to be harder. It's not over for both our championship contenders. Yeah, I need to try and remember the point system. Oh no!
Markados in the wall!
And that's going to be another safety car. Safety car it is. Oh my God.
And Cameron Dowds did everything right. It was Markados, I think, that made the mistake. That is so unfortunate for Markados. He is going to be absolutely livid with himself. It's the 3rd bit of contact that Cameron Dowds has been involved in tonight. He's there down in 4th. He's done everything right, I think, in that period. He just got the traction coming out of turns 7 and 8. Unfortunate for him, for Markados. Unfortunate for Cameron Dowds, because I think that could be a Stonewall penalty coming his way as well. It could have complications in terms of the title. Jav saying in the chat, Markados felt like tango dancing. Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of true, and it's a kind of funny comment as well, so I'll give him that one. Volakonga leading the way, Mubarak in 2nd, Tim there in 3rd. Is anybody in the front runners going to come into the pit lane? Mubarak and Tim, I think, might do. Volakonga was aiming toward the pit lane. Tim's not. Nobody is coming in, bar Louis Valentin, who's in. Stefano is in. I think Gilles is in as well further down the field. Keki is in, and Wiener will be in as well because obviously he had that front wing damage. He's already been in the pit lane. But Volakonga leading the way, Mubarak 2nd, Tim there in 3rd. And what Jerome said it in the chat, he's already out the races, Jerome. He's probably seen it from his own perspective. It wasn't Cameron's mistake. It was Markados who had a bit of snap of oversteer coming out of turn and bright. Cameron Dowds was on the outside line.
It's
Nothing
hard
you
to
could
tell.
do.
It's hard to tell from my camera angle on who it was. So I think it could be up to the stewards. It could be up to the stewards. Tim is still... He had 3 opportunities to pit. And Tim is still staying out. And Jab's saying in the chat that he respects Tim's decision. I do. Because if everyone else behind him keeps squabbling like this, Tim could still potentially get a top 5 out of this as well. Which could be absolutely crazy. Keke's boxed again, by the way, James.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not.
They're going for the fresh set of softs. They're going for the fresh set of softs. Louis Valentine, Gilles, Stefano, Keke and Wiener all into the pit lane. They're going for the fresh set of softs. But again, I will ask this question and answer it for you on the stream as well. Louis Valentine, Gilles, Stefano and Keke, further down the field, they're going to be quick on those set of soft compounder tyres. But whether or not they can overtake on that set of soft compounder tyres is completely and utterly up to them. The way that Louis Valentine was overtaking like an overtaking machine in the first stint on that set of softs, I think begs the question. He can make the moves. Everyone else, Gilles, Stefano, I think is just going to be hoping for a little bit of luck to try and get into this. They're on the fresher compound. They're probably going to be about 20% better off at this stage compared to the guys ahead. So sit back, relax. Welcome to the Wacky Races. The final 4 laps of Bahrain are about to begin. Volakonga leads, Mubarak second, Tim there in third. You thought the championship was over and done with? Think again.
Oh my goodness. I'm not going to think about the championship just yet, but I'm going to throw a bold statement on who I think is going to win this race. It could be Louis Valentine. He's on the fresher rubber, and we saw Volakonga came from lower down the grid, and he is now in a position where he's in at the moment. So I think it's either going to be Louis Valentine or Volakonga. I really think it is. But, James, I think it's a perfect time whilst we're on the safety car restart. I think it should be in this lap. It gives Wiener another chance, by the way. Wiener's probably got more than 9 lives tonight. What does both the drivers need to do once again? What is the standings right now is Aurelian would be crowned champion because the gap is not big enough, even if Cameron Dowles is ahead. Cameron Dowles would finish ahead on countback if they're tied on points because Cameron Dowles has got 3 wins this season compared to Aurelian's 1. But basically Cameron Dowles has got to outscore Aurelian by 9 points.
Yeah, and Cameron Dowds there in 4th. He needs to overtake Tim Mubarak and Volakonga to do that.
So he's got to win the race.
5th. He's basically got to win the race, yeah. He cannot go 2nd and Aurelian 5th because I think that's a 6-point difference between Cameron Dowds. Obviously, that 4 points will take him over the line. And if that is the case, we're going to get to the scenario of if Cameron Dowds wins the race, Aurelian needs to finish 4th or higher to be crowned champion. If Aurelian finishes 5th in this scenario, Cameron Dowds takes the title by 1 point. That is the scenario that we were in. It is a bit of planning that I've done on my end as well for every single scenario, so I'm glad we're in this now. But we are now in the ballpark. We're in what is the PSGL Super Bowl at this stage. Volakonga leading the way. Mubarak in 2nd, Tim there in 3rd. The virtual Bert Marlander will be Volakonga under this safety car restart. Volakonga will be the virtual Bert Marlander. He's now the virtual safety car. The real safety car is going to come in this lap. Volakonga leads, Mubarak 2nd, Tim there in 3rd. Get the popcorn, buckle up, get on the edge of your seat because these final 3 laps are going to be chaotic.
Thank you to those of you that have joined us on Twitch or YouTube for this title decider. It is Cameron Dowles versus Aurelian. Aurelian currently leads the title, and it always going to take its 3 laps, and we will find out who is the champion. It could go to either one of them. It's gone in the favour of Aurelian so far tonight, but you never know. It could swing in the favour of Cameron Dowles. Here we go then. Volakonga is going to be controlling the field. He's going to decide when to go. It is 3 laps to decide who's going to be crowned the winner of this title and who's going to be crowned the loser. I don't want to be the loser in this situation, but it's going to be a Mugello-type restart. This is going to be absolutely crazy. So watch this space, and we are go for the final time tonight. Volakonga gets a very good restart in towards turn number 1. We got Tim trying to defend from Cameron Dowles, and Cameron Dowles is up into 3rd place. So that's 1 place gone for Tim, and that's bad news for Aurelian. Cameron Dowd has got to get past 2 drivers as Aurelian has got past 4th. That is crucial. That is crucial for Aurelian that he's past Tim right now. He is in a very good position. He could be champion no matter what happens to Cameron Dowd. Ryder Dowd is on the back of Tim as well. Tim is definitely struggling, but Volakongan leads. Mubarak second, Cameron Dowd, your top 3. Ray in 4th, and Tim in 5th. Ryder Dowd around the outside of Tim in towards turn number 8. And we got 2 of the Alpines going side by side. And I was surprised that Francesco didn't go for the move there, but Volakongan, he's pulling away from Mubarak. He's got this win in the bag, I think.
Bit of Constantino effect further down the field as well. Louis Valentin right on the back of Francesco. He is an overtaking machine right now. He's got past NLR Ryan. Gil passed him as well to the inside line at turn number 11. Gets the job done through now the middle part of the lap. And Volakongan has now got this. 1 second the gap over Mubarak. Mubarak can only use that DRS on the final lap of the race. And that'll be from turn 4 onwards. As now Stefano and Ryan are side by side in the background as well. On board with them now. Louis Valentin going past Francesco. I did say watch out for Louis Valentin. He's there in 7th. Beginning to overtake Stefano and Francesco now side by side. Coming out of the corner. Gil and Francesco side by side even. Volakongan leads. Mubarak second. Cameron Dowd in 3rd. But here comes Cameron Dowd on the back of Mubarak to the inside line. Nearly off in toward the grass there they were. Cameron Dowd's inside line gets the job done. Fresher tyres are the order of the day. Mubarak, though, gets the switch back of the century. Round the outside now up the hill. In towards turn number 4. Cameron Dowd's going to pull away down the straight and he's through. And he's into 2nd. Still not enough to wrap up the championship. And even if Aurelian sits in 4th right now, Cameron Dowd needs to win the race to have a chance of the title. But Cameron Dowd at the minute will not be wrapping this up as Gilles and Tim are side by side coming through the middle sector.
Yep, Gilles and Tim doing a great job. Tim, I think, could lose out on the top 10, unfortunately, as it stands. But fair play for him trying out this strategy to try and make it last as well. But if he can do it and make it to the top 10, then fair play. A lot of tyre smoke going in the background. There's water recovery from Wiener. He could potentially get points out of all of this, and he was in the wars pretty much for a lot of the race. So fair play if he does. He's had a lot of second chances tonight, and he's getting a third one up in towards turn number 11 and 12. So he's passed there as well. He's almost 3 wide in the background heading towards turn 13. But let's keep an eye on the front in a minute because we got Stefano and Ryan. Oh, Stefano had a bit of a tank stopper heading towards the exit of 13. This is a big DRS trade, and on the final lap, DRS will be activated. That's going to be key here. And let's hope they... Oh, there's a bit of contact from Gecko and Ryan then. Yes, DRS is activated. Dowd is out of DRS. Mubarak has DRS. Aurelian has DRS as well. I think it's the Ryan left on the wall as Aurelian tried to get past Mubarak. This is going to be key here.
Louis Valentin side by side with Rodinal coming out of turns 1, 2 and 3 as well. He's nearly forced up on the curb. Gilles going to have a run at both of them up the hill in towards turn number 4. Can the old guard find a way through on the old master? Louis Valentin and Gilles side by side. Gilles gets the job done, but Louis Valentin tries to switch back. Rodinal in this battle as well. Is Gilles going to get 2 for 1 in the space of many corners to the inside line?
No.
Coming through turn number 5, trying to get the job done. He can't. He's still defending like an absolute lion. Dives it to the inside line, does Gilles. Can't get the car stopped. Rodinal back through. He's into 5th. Louis Valentin there in 7th. At the minute, though, they're all chasing shadows because Volakongan leads the way by 1.5 seconds. He's got this race, unless he makes a mistake, completely and utterly wrapped up. Cameron Dowd in 2nd. The point difference will be 3 points at the end of this race as it stands. Still side by side with Gilles and Rodinal in the background. Coming now through the final sector and the final couple of corners here in Bahrain. And what has been a fantastic race. Running around the outside of Mubarak, trying to get the job done. Mubarak there on the inside line will not give in. He wants that podium. It's not going to be a P1 from him. It might be a P3 as Aurelian right down the hill. In towards 10-14 comes right at him. Volakongan, though, the Mr. Consistency himself, comes through the final corner to take the race win here in Bahrain. Volakongan's line wins in Bahrain. Cameron Dowd in 2nd. Mubarak hangs on to 3rd. Aurelian in 4th. Gilles in 5th. Great end to that race. Rodinal in 6th. And Aston Martin crashing across the line in the background. But my word, what a race. Gilles there in 5th. They were all chasing shadows, though. That was the shadow of Volakongan. Driver of the day. Well-deserved first race win of the season.
And at the final race as well. Volakongan has looked good in this race before, and he's proven it. He's done well here in F2 around Bahrain. And it is fantastic. But your season 35 champion of PSF1, Well, he was a favourite going in tonight. He just needed to outscore Cameron Dalves. He didn't do that, but the gap was minuscule that he didn't need to worry. F7R Aurelian is your Season 35 PSF1 Champion of the World. And he's going to be very, very happy with that. He only got 1 win to his name, but the reason why he won this championship, just like we saw with Danerko a couple of seasons ago, was because of the consistency. You don't necessarily have to win the most races, you just got to be the most consistent.
Definitely so, and that, in the end, I think just says it all about what the season has been. It has been ultimately about consistency. Volakongan, by the way, takes the fastest lap of the race as well. So, AlphaTauri are Constructors Champions as well, as it stands. But Cameron Dowd, remember, he had a few incidents out on track. It could come back to bite AlphaTauri in the Constructors. But Volakongan takes the win. Cameron Dowd second, Mabarak there in third, Aurelian there in fourth, Gilles in fifth, Rodadol sixth, Louis Valentin in seventh. Didn't really deserve to be there in the end. Tim there in eighth, Francesco in ninth, Wiener ran up the top 10. Tim, by the way, getting points on that to the hard. Stefano, Keki, Ryan the 13 finishers. Markedos, Tom and Yaron all DNFing at various points in that race. But Aurelian is champion of the world. He's come a long way since PSGL season 32 F2 and him losing the title. It's second time's a charm for the Frenchman, and I'm sure we'll be hearing a few words from him very soon.
I don't think you can't believe it, to be honest, because he probably didn't want that safety car. Pretty much the amount of safety cars that we had, he didn't want them. But in all the safety cars, he performed well. He performed under pressure. He knew the permutations going into this as well. And he's going to be out celebrating well into the night as well. Don't forget, he was a Challengers driver as well, so he had the pace in general. To be honest, James, at the start of the season, we didn't know who was going to win it. It was probably going to be the most open championship. And I didn't think coming into this, it was going to be a Cameron Dalves Aurelian title fight. Cameron Dalves was a reserve going into the start of the season, and he was in a championship fight. It was crazy. Cameron Dalves, unfortunately, just missed out, but Aurelian did a great job. Well done to Volakongan for the win. You can't take the win away from it. I would like to hear some words from Volakongan as well with his strategy, because, to be fair, the safety car did help him, but sometimes you got to have the luck in the sport, and he pulled away like a madman. So, what a great race to round off the season, and our first stream on Twitch as well. Thank you for bearing with us, and should we get some of the drivers in? I would like to hear from the champion and our race winner if possible.
Do you know what? I haven't even messaged them on Discord, so I will definitely do that now. Just coming back to the championship battle, by the way, Aurelian, compared to Cameron Dowd's picked a 8th position, so 3 points in Japan. Aurelian consistently scored the first 4 rounds out of 5 in the championship, and Aurelian in the end, I think the points difference was beyond 20 points at that difference. For Cameron Dowd to get a first, 4th, second, first, and now on the podium again here in Bahrain is just a testament to the skill and the durability that man has got, because he is a future star up and rising, and if he did more races at the start of the season, it would have been very, very different indeed. But Aurelian takes that race win. Well, Aurelian takes the championship win, I should say. Doesn't take the race win. Volakongan does take that race win. Aurelian, by the way, wishing Cameron Dowd very well. Congrats on the championship fight. What you've done with playing the championship, with being reserved the first races, is crazy. Really well done. And that is the sportsmanship we always like to see in PSGL.
Yeah, so he's pretty much a gracious winner, isn't he? He didn't go on the top too much. I like gracious winners. Happy with his result, but congratulating also Cameron Dowd for doing a job well done as well. So very, very impressed with him. Really, really am. So yeah, not much more to say on the matter, really. Come on, are we gonna hear from? Come on, we need to get these guys in the interview rooms. We want to have a chat with people as well. We still have quite a few people watching on YouTube, by the way, which is really great to see. I think whilst we wait for the interview to take place, let's have a look at this calendar. I accidentally put it open earlier on. So we've got Australia to round off to kickstart the season. We're starting on the 19th of February. That's under 2-3 weeks away. We do not have long until the start of the season. Then we've got a driver's vote, which means the drivers will be voting on one of 3 tracks. Then we got Monaco. I think I'm not missing that race. I hope I'm not, because I love commentating Monaco. Then we got a driver's vote again. Then we got Canada, Then we got another driver's vote. Another driver's vote again. Then we got our first appearance in the PSGL F123 game cycle on Baku. I love commentating on Baku, so I can't wait for that. I'm sure the drivers are not looking forward to that. Then a first appearance of Zandvoort. Then we got another driver's vote. And then the championship finale, as it's like a few seasons ago, I think, Austin, Texas. What do you think of this? The drivers' votes are very, very interesting.
Drivers' votes are very interesting, but I think it gives that bit of personality, I think, to the league as well. The drivers voting for the tracks, I know they've done that in PCF1 this season, and I think it just adds a totally different dimension and something new, I think, to the league, which is always refreshing. Same with the Twitch streams as well, doing streams on Twitch for the first time alongside running simultaneously with YouTube. Absolutely fantastic, I think. Full credit to Byron Hale in the background for doing that as well. Mr. PSF3 himself right now, alongside Logan in the commentary box. He's been everywhere the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
He's pretty much in most tiers in the last few weeks. And he's streaming on OBS for the first time as well. So I hope that's gone well. I really do. That's how he's a busy man, bless him. So yeah, I'm meant to be having a chat with him. I think in a few days' time after to sort out season 36. So it's, even though we've ended tonight, my prep for season 36 is not over because I've got to prep you lovely lot. But yeah, so don't forget you can vote for the tracks which are going to be in the drivers' vote. So actually on Twitter now, so make sure you check that out. And there's information about sign-ups. There we go. So we are going to be waiting for Aurelian, because I know Aurelian wants to speak to us. But he is here. Give me a second. I will explain about the sign-ups first. So all drivers must sign up on Discord. The link is in the description. Then returning drivers to season 35. So that's pretty much all the drivers who have raced here tonight. They don't need to complete the evaluation process. So as soon as they signed up, boom, that's done. New drivers need to complete the short qualifying event around around these 3 tracks. And new drivers must submit short qualifying times of the following tracks. That's Bahrain, Japan and Spain. So obviously the drivers who want to race in PSGL probably got a bit of practice tonight, but we're not going to wait around too long. Should we hear from our race winner or should we hear from our champion first?
Race winner, I would think.
Yeah, let's bring our race winner in. I'm a bit worried he's on PlayStation, but I'm going to drag him in to the commentary box and I'll let James take it away.
Yeah, congratulations. Mr. Consistency himself, Shazoo Volakongan, takes the race win out on track here tonight in Bahrain. Fantastic effort from you, Volakongan. First of all, can you hear us? And second of all, talk us through the race.
Hello, yes, I can hear you.
Woo!
I don't know what to say. Qualifying was quite bad. Qualified almost last. And had a bad start. And yeah, was just driving at the back almost the whole race. And then, yeah, I got very lucky with the safety car. And yeah, I had the best tires at the end, so a quite lucky one.
A quite lucky one, you say, but you qualified 14th on the grid, took the fastest lap of the race as well with it, so an extra point there. What was going through your mind the final couple of laps? Because safety cars obviously are a prevalent thing around here in Bahrain. Were you thinking, oh, for goodness sake, am I actually going to get a chance of winning this?
Yeah, I don't know. Of course, when the safety car came out, I knew I was in a good position. So yeah, I was just trying to drive as fast as I could, and yeah, was able to keep the others behind till the finish line.
Yeah, and that was the case. You did a fantastic job, obviously. I've got a few stats for you here as well. That's your 3rd podium of the season. First win, of course, of the season. And your averaging finishing position, on average, has been 8th position. So you have literally been Mr. Consistency himself. What is the trick? And tell us about that trick, because I definitely need that right now.
I don't know. I don't know either what's the trick is, but probably just do a lot of practice, do a lot of races in PSGL and in other leagues, and yeah, I think that's the secret. Do a lot of races, race practice.
Yeah, what's the saying? If you're born to prepare, you prepare to fail, something like that. And it's definitely the case here with the factors that Volakongan put in. An absolute deserving win as well as that as well. Jess, I am going to come across to you. Any questions?
Yes, so first of all, congratulations on your win, Volakongan. And because you had a 6-point gap going into with Markados, and obviously Markados retired, also congratulations on P3 in the championship as well. You probably wasn't expecting that going into tonight. Next season, what are your plans going into season 36? Are you going to be changing platforms? I'm almost certain you're going to be staying on PS. And what are your goals going into the new season?
Yes, I'm definitely staying on PlayStation.
Good.
Yeah. Nah, just try to do as well as I can in every race and see where it takes me at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I don't expect another podium. I don't do that, but yeah. We'll see.
You never know. You said to me you weren't expecting another win this season, and guess what? You got one. And your best result before tonight was not Qatar, sorry. Round 4, was that Las Vegas?
Austria.
Austria?
No, it wasn't. It was
Las Vegas. I wasn't here.
Austin. Yeah, Las Vegas. Yeah, second.
I wasn't here, Tim, because I'm glad I actually witnessed you getting a podium, aka a win. But anyway, and we'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your night and celebrate the victory.
Thank you.
And James, shall we bring the man, the myth, the legend into the commentary box?
The man, the myth, the GOAT that you're on about here.
Yes.
The
I'll drag him in.
PSGL. No worries.
There he is.
We are now joined by the man not only who finished in P4 tonight, but the man who we can gladly say is PSGL PSF1 Drivers Champion. It is F7R Aurelian. And Aurelian, my word, you had to work for that title, my friend, especially in that last race of this, here in Bahrain. Fantastic effort. First of all, what is going through your mind?
Hello everyone. Yeah, I'm so happy. I would like first to thanks all the F7R team, because this is thanks to them if I can achieve this tonight, and thanks to everyone, my friend, extra. Yeah, it wasn't an easy one. The strategy was perfect until the safety car. I think that without the safety car, I surely was going to win the race. Like it was going on a good foot. But yeah, we got the safety car. I had to box for the soft. I tried to fight a bit Cameron, but not that much, because I don't want to ruin everything. And yeah, at the end, P4 was enough. And yeah, I'm really happy.
I'm glad you're really happy, because I'm really happy for you. From
Thank you.
avenging the defeat that you had in PSGL Season 32 PSF2, which unfortunately I had the privilege of commentating over that last race in
Yeah.
Circle of the Americas, you must feel that you've got a complete weight off your shoulders, and you've avenged that from 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, that one, like it was maybe 1 year ago, almost exactly, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that race was really heartbreaking.
I think
Losing
was
the
it season
title.
32?
Yep.
Yeah, losing the title by 1/10 was really hard. And yeah, but it's fine because now I won the PSGL F1 championship, so it doesn't matter for F2 anymore.
It definitely doesn't matter for F2, and in that championship as well, Volakongan actually took that title, so it is good to have them both obviously in the interview room.
Yeah.
It is a little bit of
And he's third in the championship
deja
now.
vu, I think.
Yeah, he's third in the
He is
championship
third.
now. So
Yeah, Volakongan third in the championship as well. Not first in the championship, unlike yourself, Aurelian, of course. But looking through your stats this season, I was saying to Jess in commentary there just after we finished, Japan, first round of the championship, you finished third. Obviously, Cameron Dowds was a reserve back then. And then you picked up consistent results upon consistent results for the first 4 out of 5 rounds in that championship. my question to you is that where you think you won the title, or was it somewhere else?
Yeah. Sometimes I bolted a lot my qualies, and at the end I was only able to finish like P4, P5. But at the end, I guess that P4 and P5 merchant was enough to take the title. So I'm really, I'm really happy to have won at least a race, because it would have been good, but a bit disappointing to win the title without a win. And surely that if I didn't win this race at Miami, I I probably wouldn't won this title.
Yeah, and that Miami race was unfortunately the one I missed all season, and it proved to be the closest finish of the season as well. 300s between yourself and Cameron Dowd in that. Final question from me as well. Going forward, of course, into what is going to be season 36, how do you feel going into that season, knowing that you've got the weight on your back? As defending PSF1 champion, are you going to be switching consoles and platforms potentially to PC?
Uh, I don't know yet.
Oh. You haven't
I
got
don't know
long.
yet. We will see. I will decide in the few weeks
Okay.
what I do for my future. I don't really know yet. Sorry.
That's probably a good
Stay on PlayStation.
That's probably a good thing that we don't know, because we don't know who potentially could be in the running for the title next season as well. You nicked my question, James, so I need to try and think of a question that at the top of my... I don't think I'm going to have a question, but I'm going to say...
Oh, I've got another one.
Okay.
And
I'll leave my best
and
wishes then later.
It is my original question as well.
Yes.
What do you think of Cameron Dowd in second position, really pushing you hard the final couple of races of the season there, Aurelian? He is a very good, young and up-and-coming talent. You're a two-time F1 Esports Challengers man. What do you say to Cameron in terms of that championship fight? Because I saw your comment in the Discord and you were full of praise from him.
Yeah, he's very young. He's very talented. Probably that if he was able to do the whole season, uh, I don't want to say he would have been champion, but there is a big chance of that. So it would have been probably an even closer battle. And yeah, he's full of talent, so I'm sure he will have a lot of success in his future.
And it's really nice words as well, because Cameron has got a very bright future ahead of him. No matter what spectrum you're on, no matter what platform you're coming from,
And so does
Cameron
Aurelian.
Dowd is an... And so does Aurelian. So does Aurelian. Both Aurelian and Cameron Dowd have got very bright futures as well, and I really look forward to seeing how that progresses. And obviously this year, possibly Pro Exhibition and everything coming back. Hopefully we'll be able to see you guys there. I think Cameron Dowd's a little bit too young still, but hopefully we get to see you there. That's all for me for questions. Any questions, Jess?
I haven't got any questions, but I got some congratulations Aurelian on the title there. Cameron Dowd did push you hard, but you did most of the work throughout the majority of the season. With your consistency, you should be very proud. Redemption, like you were saying, from PSF2 as well. Best of luck for next season, whichever platform you choose to go on. And if you are on PS, hopefully we can try and defend your PS title. And if you're on PC, best of luck. I'll be cheering you on. But I think this is going to take a while to sink in for you. So we will let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening. Go and celebrate with your F7R teammates. And here it is, our PSGL PSF1 Season 35 champion, F7R Aurelian. Congratulations. Woo!
Thank you very much. Thanks for commentating the season.
And thank you for
Bye.
driving.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Aurelian. And that is that. Unfortunately, Cameron Dowd doesn't want to speak to us currently. He's got some stuff to do. But after that, that is a wrap for season 35. It's just gone so quick, James. Another season where you were stuck with me.
Another second season in a row I've been stuck with you, but I've got to say, you're my yin to my yang. Everything like that, it's a perfect commentary from my perspective. Just like to thank everyone that has given me the opportunity to have a second season of doing PSF1. Whether or not I'm going to be here next season, time will only tell, but hopefully the racing is going to be a lot better as well. And you never know, Jess, obviously with Matteo wrapping up the PSF2 title, are we going to have another young name coming through the ranks in Matteo for next season? Time will tell.
That is a good point. That is a good point, actually. First of all, congratulations to Matteo, who wrapped it up last week in Silverstone. And to be honest, he pretty much did it all throughout the first few races of the season as well. So I can't wait to see him do well in PSF1. There could be a few people that would get promoted from PSF2 to PSF1 as well. So very, very exciting. We do not have long to wait until season 36 is back on our screens on a Monday night. It is on the 19th of February, 8 o'clock for PSF1. That is going to be Australia. That's going to be the first round. We got tracks like Monaco, Canada, Azerbaijan, Baku, and Austin, Texas, plus some other tracks that are going to be voted by the drivers. Make sure you sign up if you haven't already, if you want to race this season for PS, for all abilities or assists, any assists you want, PC, no assists. Who knows, we could be commentating on you next season. But I'll like to say a few thank yous as well, because I know James had a few thank yous. Thank yous to all the drivers. Thank you to all the admins as well. Of course, Ryan for setting up the lobbies and organising this tier every week. To be fair, you could probably agree with this, Jay. Ryan is really good at being a tier coordinator. He sets the lobby like 20 minutes before the lobby's due to start. So, yeah, he's very dedicated on what he does. And I think we will probably hopefully see him back as tier coordinator next season, because he's been brilliant. Thank you to obviously all the stewards, of course. We don't know who they are, but whoever you are, thank you to all of them for dealing with all our reports every week. Also, thank you to every one of you at home for watching, because without you, there'll be no stream, of course. And I've already said all the drivers. Thank you to all the commentators from all tiers, all PC, all PS, for providing some great streams this season. We are going to sadly lose Timon from PSF2. He's going to be dropping down to reserve on his request, of course, because he's not going to have the time due to his other commitments and due to the fact that one of his teams is qualified for the E-Series, which is going to be taking place on Friday night. The first round, I can't remember what round it is, but it is on at 7 p.m. with Nathan and Josh taking you through that one. And, of course, thank you to yourself, James, for joining me in the commentary box every week.
My absolute pleasure. E-Series, by the way, if you're wondering, it is qualifiers on the 26th of January, so they've already gone. First race of the championship is Azerbaijan, so it is a track we're going to, of course, for PSF1. So if you want to get an insight into how Azerbaijan is going to go in terms of the standards, you can do Belgium, Spain, France, Austria, and then a break week. So the first 5 rounds of the season, absolutely stacked and packed. Remember, for E-Series as well, £1,000 prize pool and a trophy for the winning constructor as well. So hopefully everything will go all according to plan as well. And whoever that was, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, they thought that the stream was over. And I bet you that was either Connor or Josh that joined the chat. But anyway, as I was saying, a big thank you to those two as well for helping with the commentary rosters this season as well. And thank you to Big C for keeping me on the straight and narrow each week. But final plug of our sponsors, by the way, GT Mega. We are sitting on our lovely comfy chairs from them. We do appreciate our continued support from our title sponsor. 5% off all GT Mega products by using the code PSGL at checkout. And also, final plug from our newest sponsor, SRC Sim Racing Centre. You can get set up from them, strategies, and of course coaching sessions, including from our 2-time esports champion Brendan Lee. Use the code PSGL at checkout to get 10% off all products. They also do ATC and WRC setups as well, so that's going to be good. But we will leave you adverts from those sponsors, SRC and our title sponsor GT Mega. Have a good evening. We will see you in season 36. Whichever tier, I don't know. It depends if Connor has fired us or not. But, only joking. We will see you next season for season 36. Goodbye.